Chapter 81, Opening the Immortal-level forging materials again, losing until only his underwear is L. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 81, Opens another fairy-level forging material, loses to AO and is left with his underwear, wasteful. Extravagant. That's what every male cultivator thinks, dominating. Loaded. That's what every female cultivator thinks, combined, it's good to have money. Uncle Junior, is this, are you sure about this? Yi Qingrou's eyes were shining, this is a sacred weapon. She's already thrilled to have the Xianbing holy sword, another piece of sacred inner armor is almost too much for her little heart to take. Take it. Tang Chen just hands her the sacred inner armor, Yi Qingrou deserves it, as for Tunton, no matter what Tang Chen said, it had already scarfed down the golden jade fire phoenix in one gulp, yep, a glutton, as usual. The second round of gambling is over, let's start the third. Tang Chen didn't waste any time and started the next round. As he spoke, Tang Chen glanced at the source on the right, intentionally or unintentionally, it was a fleeting glance, but still keenly noticed by Ao Qianhuan. Ao Qianhuan looked at the source himself, and then he froze, the quality of that source was incredible. The shape, the color, the brightness, it was perfect. For this round, let's bet bigger, double the stakes, Tang Chen smiled. Consider it giving Prince Ao a chance to recoup his losses. Young Master Ao chuckled to himself, like the saying goes, even a dead fish can float with the tide. Tang Chen was implying that Ao Qianhuan was washed up. While talking, Tang Chen shifted his right foot half an inch. When Ao Qianhuan saw this, it clicked. Hold up. Tang Chen is no gambling newbie. He's got a sharp eye and already picked his source. He kicked off the round, then said he'd double the winnings. He's clearly confident he'll win. And that little foot move means he wants that source. Ao Qianhuan thought, finally, he announced, since my junior uncle wants to raise the bet, then I'll go all in with you. This time, I'm choosing first. Tang Chen's eyes flashed with mock fear, and his smile faltered for a second. All right, the prince can choose first. Tang Chen kept smiling, but he looked at the source on the right again, and took a step back, now it's too late to change his mind. Ao Qianhuan was delighted, he snatched the source without hesitating. I've got it, Ao Qianhuan said, now it's your turn. Tang Chen's eyes flickered, finally, he chose an ordinary cyan source, plain as could be. Princess Bailing, I hate to bother you again. Ao Qianhuan handed over his source, Qin Shiyan nodded and chopped it open, buzz, star. As the crack spread, a rich black light poured out, filled with pure spiritual energy, like bone marrow. Spiritual marrow. It's spiritual marrow. Wuguang spiritual marrow crystal. This is a holy level forging material. Prince Ao is a gambling master. First, he got true level forging materials, and now holy level. He's unstoppable, everyone exclaimed, even Ao Qianhuan was shocked, because he knew that he hadn't actually chosen this source, he'd just taken advantage of Tang Chen's misdirection. He really is a gambling master. But his mentality is weak. I seized the opportunity. Ao Qianhuan gloated, holy level was as good as it got, anything beyond that was just talk. If Tang Chen wants to beat Ao Qianhuan, he needs to get an immortal level forging material. Not going to happen. This isn't just a hard problem. It's impossible. Immortal grade forging materials are incredibly rare. You'd have to be insanely lucky. I'm telling you, holy level forging materials are rare enough. Tang Chen's a goner. Everyone agreed that Tang Chen was going to lose. Open it up. Tang Chen handed his source to Qin Shiyan, giving her a reassuring look. Qin Shiyan was worried, she thought Tang Chen was going to lose, big time. But when she saw Tang Chen's eyes, she calmed down, it was a subtle feeling, she felt strangely safe. Got it. Qin Shiyan nodded, as the jade knife fell, the source shattered, a rainbow of light seeped out from the crack, the light was mixed with tiny stars, each spark poured out an aura of immortality. Immortal level forging material. Qin Shiyan was stunned, she looked down at the jade knife in her hand, a faint fairy aura lingered on the blade, the immortal energy inside must be overflowing. 9-star Chiyang. This is the almost extinct 9-star Chiyang. Even in the era of 10,000 immortals, it was a top-tier forging material. That an old man trembled. He was the chief appraiser of the Qingmu Chamber of Commerce, a craftsman who'd lived for over 1,000 years. Holy crap! Extinct forging materials. He found extinct forging materials. The fairy energy is 10 times richer than that golden jade fire phoenix. He's gambled and gotten 2 fairy-level forging materials. Am I dreaming? That the crowd was in shock. Finding 1 fairy-level forging material was lucky, finding 2. The crowd stared at Tang Chen in awe. He picked up the first source without even thinking. Could all these sources be treasure? A cultivator grabbed a source and cut it open. It was empty. Other cultivators tried, they all found junk. Ahem. A cough snapped everyone back to reality. Tang Chen was smiling at Ao Qianhuan. Sometimes, when luck strikes, nothing can stop it. Prince, guess I'll have to relieve you of your belongings again. That was the last straw. Ao Qianhuan collapsed, his face pale, his eyes were empty. He had brought 3 holy weapons, inner armor, light armor, and a pair of boxing gloves. He lost them all to Tang Chen. He lost so much he was practically down to his underwear. Chapter 82. Wait for me to slaughter you. Tang Chen will definitely lose. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Looking at the 5 elements kingdom, the Wutu kingdom is hands down the strongest, and they've got the deepest pockets to prove it. But holy artifacts aren't exactly dime a dozen. They're all priceless, and get this, between Ao Hongchen and Ao Jiuxiao's broken stuff, Tang Chen's already swiped 7 holy artifacts from the Wutu kingdom. That's a hit that'd leave even them reeling. The real kicker. Ao Qianhuan lost 3 sacred weapons to Tang Chen. He's got no grounds to ask for a refund. Meanwhile, Tang Chen handed the sacred light armor and gloves to Yi Qingru. Add in the Xianbing holy sword, and she's got herself a 4-piece holy weapon set. Almost complete. Decked out in all that gear, Yi Qingru was practically glowing with Taoist charms. Her icy vibe kept everyone at arm's length, and with her perfect, delicate features, she looked like a total badass warrior goddess. Tang Chen checked her out, nodding like he was appreciating a fine piece of art. Yi Qingru, though, was a little flustered. She shot Tang Chen a grateful look, then glanced at Qin Shiyan with a hint of a take that glint in her eyes. What about me? Don't I get anything? Luo Yuhan whined, looking miffed when Tang Chen tossed the 9-star Chongyang stone to Tunten. Isn't my and Qingrou's laundry enough for you? Alright, you can wash Tunten's nest tonight too. Tang Chen deadpanned. Luo Yuhan practically burst into tears right there. Score. 3 holy artifacts is awesome, but it's a shame we couldn't squeeze anything else out of that guy. Tang Chen ignored Luo Yuhan's drama and eyed the defeated Ao Qianhuan. Ao Qianhuan, second prince of the Wutu kingdom, restoration at the 9th level, mastered the Qilin sacred code, completed the wilderness killing technique, carries the Qilin jade horn. Thanks to his eagle eyes, Tang Chen was already smelling victory. After winning the first round, he started plotting how to milk Ao Qianhuan dry. That's why he pushed for a second round and goaded Ao Qianhuan into upping the ante. Worked like a charm. Tang Chen walked away with 2 more sacred artifacts. In a gambler's mind, a loss has to be avenged, especially a big one. So, Tang Chen wasn't going anywhere. He was waiting for Ao Qianhuan to go all in for a final showdown, but Ao Qianhuan had some self-control left, and didn't completely lose it. That Qilin jade horn's gotta be way more valuable than the Qilin teeth bone. Ao Qianhuan probably came to the Qingmu kingdom relying on that thing. It's probably his prized possession. Makes sense he wouldn't risk it. Thinking about it, Tang Chen realized that sounded a little weird. Once the mountain behind the academy opens up, we'll find another way to swipe that Qilin jade horn. Tang Chen shrugged it off, flicked his sleeve, and headed out. Before he left, he gave Ao Qianhuan a quick glance, a look that said, I've been bulking up just for you. Get ready for slaughter. Aoki Chamber of Commerce, in a fancy schmancy attic, a bunch of figures were glued to the gambling stone pavilion, watching the whole scene unfold. Tang Chen's got some serious luck, an old guy said enviously, admitting he was a stone betting enthusiast himself. To pull out 2 fairy-level forging materials in one go. And one of them's a top-tier material that's extinct. Unreal. Luck. I don't think so. Another person suddenly spoke up. It was Taiyin sect master Luo Chongxiao, the other people were all elders of Taiyin Cave. You could say that 80% of Taiyin Cave's fighting power was crammed into that attic at that moment. Hearing Luo Chongxiao's comment, the elders' eyes narrowed. They were about to grill him, but Luo Chongxiao held up a hand. Just a hunch, that's all. But Tang Chen was so confident, so sure of himself, like he could see right through every single origin stone. The elders nodded, but in their heads, they were thinking, yeah, right. See through them all. No way. Does he have freaking X-ray vision or something? Headmaster, you came all the way to the Qingmu Kingdom. Why didn't you just snatch the saint back? A Taiyin elder asked, puzzled. They'd seen Luo Yuheng following Tang Chen around like a little puppy, and even they felt bad about it, and Luo Zhongxia was her dad, for crying out loud. I was fuming at first, but then I figured, Yuheng's been a wild child since day one. It's actually refreshing to see someone finally able to keep her in line. Maybe a little suffering will do her good. Luo Zhongxiao said with a smug grin. Then, his tone turned serious. Besides, Yuheng's probably sticking with Tang Chen to avoid marrying Hua Tiandu. She's seeing him as her last resort, a life raft. If I drag her back now, she'll just find another way to bolt. So, what do we do? The elder pressed. Luo Yuheng's marriage to Hua Tiandu was a big deal, and this whole situation was a mess. Simple. Let Hua Tiandu beat Tang Chen. Problem solved. Luo Chongxiao sipped his tea, cool as a cucumber. Hua Tiandu heard about the mountain opening and came here too. They'll inevitably cross paths and compete. If Tang Chen loses, Yuheng's hopes will be dashed. She'll have no choice but to come crawling back to Taiyin Lingshan. The elders finally understood. Sure, the trip to the mountain wasn't a formal competition, but all the young masters would be trying to one-up each other. Even if Tang Chen and Hua Tiandu didn't want to compete, everyone else would be comparing them anyway. A showdown was inevitable. But, what if Hua Tiandu loses? One elder asked with a sigh. The whole reason Luo Yuheng was hooked on Tang Chen was because she thought he was stronger than Hua Tiandu. If Tang Chen won, Luo Yuheng would probably follow him to the ends of the earth. Don't sweat it. Tang Chen's gonna lose, guaranteed. Luo Chongxiao dropped the serious act and said confidently, no matter how talented Tang Chen is, he's just a flash in the pan. Hua Tiandu, on the other hand, is. He trailed off, like he'd almost said something forbidden, then quickly clammed up, but the confidence on his face was even stronger than before. 3 days flew by. On that day, deep in the Qingmu Kingdom, golden light shot into the sky, and purple clouds swirled. It was like a god descending. Then, the whole kingdom shook. Countless Taoists took to the skies, rushing toward the academy. In a courtyard, Ao Qianhuan jumped to his feet, eyes locked on the academy. He snarled, Tang Chen, today, I'm going to humiliate you. Author's note, new week, new goals. I'm determined to check in today, even Jesus couldn't stop me. Chapter 83 Gathering at Qianlong Academy. Why don't you let me give it a try? You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Chapter 83, Gathering at Qianlong Academy. Think you can take me? Qianlong Academy was nestled deep within the Qingmu ancient country. From a distance, you could see towering pagodas, rows of connected buildings, cascading waterfalls, and shimmering light, all making it look grand and majestic. It wasn't just an academy, it felt like a magical sanctuary, untouched by the outside world. This place is a cultivation haven, and they let anyone train here. Qianlong Academy is truly impressive. Genius after genius marveled at the sight. The eastern wasteland was home to countless factions, whether cooperating or fighting. Their ultimate goal was to become stronger. When it came to recruiting talent, they'd pull out all the stops, but Qianlong Academy was different. They believed everyone should practice martial arts, and that there should be no hierarchy between students and teachers. Because of this, Qianlong Academy's reputation was immense, reaching far and wide across the Xuanhuan world. I heard the founder of Qianlong Academy was an immortal, and their body is enshrined on top of that mountain. I wonder if it's true. Someone asked, their voice full of curiosity. The rumor sparked excitement among the crowd. No one knew if it was true, and no one had ever reached the summit, but that didn't stop their ambition. In fact, it's what drew so many people to study at Qianlong Academy. Just then, a squad of heavily armored guards appeared at the academy entrance. They carried a large sedan chair, decorated with the flags of the Aoki imperial family. Look, it's Princess Bai Ling. She's even more stunning in person. Besides Princess Bai Ling, the rest are all princes. What's going on? Why such a grand entrance? They must be here to climb to the summit. Why else would they all show up? Whispers rippled through the crowd. Qin Xian stepped out of the dragon carriage. She scanned the area, but didn't spot Tang Chen, leaving her visibly disappointed. Sister, did we arrive too early? One of the princes asked, looking confused. Are you saying we should have made our junior uncle wait for us? Qin Xian's eyes flashed, and she instantly transformed into a powerful leader. Junior uncle is the hope of the Qingmu kingdom. We're here waiting for him, to show our sincerity. Then, she turned away and said coldly, give him 100 lashes. The prince paled, but didn't dare to object. To the average person, Qin Xian was Princess Bai Ling, known for her unparalleled beauty and enchanting voice, the dream girl of countless hearts, but she was also known for being decisive and strong. If nothing went wrong, Qin Xian would be the next ruler of the Qingmu kingdom. Gu Daozi, Lu Daozi. Qin Xian noticed two figures holding swords. Her serious expression instantly melted into a smile as she approached them. It was Gu Beilu and Lu Piapiao. Greetings, Princess Bai Ling. Gu Beilu and Lu Piapiao bowed. I'm close with my junior uncle, so you don't need to be so formal. Qin Xian raised her hand to stop them and said, my uncle hasn't arrived yet. Would you mind chatting with me? He's been quite the sensation these past few days. Everyone's calling him a master of stone gambling. She made it clear that she was very friendly. Soon, the three of them were deep in conversation. Just as expected of my junior uncle. He's really something. When this news reaches the Wutu kingdom, their leader will probably choke with anger. Gu Beilu said, impressed by the stone gambling story. Lu Piapiao didn't care much about the stone gambling. She kept glancing at Qin Xian, thinking, Qin Xian must be head over heels for him. What am I going to do? Another rival. The three were chatting happily. Suddenly, the sound of something cutting through the air broke the moment. Two figures streaked across the sky, one from the left, one from the right, arriving with astonishing speed. Yang Ling, clad in blood-red armor, and Ao Qianhuan, in silk robes, appeared before everyone at the same time. Seeing them, the disciples scrambled to get out of the way. Because of Tang Chen, they had both been defeated. One had been left doubting his entire existence, the other had lost everything but the clothes. On his back, these stories had spread like wildfire throughout the Aoki capital. Everyone knew they were both seething with suppressed rage. No one wanted to get caught in their crossfire. Ao Qianhuan looked around and, seeing that Tang Chen wasn't there, immediately found a corner to sit cross-legged. His face was as dark as a thundercloud, but he remained silent. Then there was Yang Ling. Seeing Gu Beilu and Lu Piapiao, he immediately glared at them and shouted, "Where's Tang Chen? Where is he? Tell him to come out. My junior uncle is practically an immortal, how dare you yell at him like that?" Lu Piapiao retorted sweetly, sneering, "Or do you want another humiliation? Do you want to become a laughingstock again?" Yang Ling's forehead throbbed. That incident was a disgrace. Lu Piapiao's words immediately triggered laughter from the crowd. "You're asking for it." Yang Ling roared and threw a punch at Lu Piapiao. She tried to block, but was immediately sent flying, spitting out a mouthful of blood. "Yang Ling, that's out of line. You go straight to violence. Is that how people from the bloody cave behave?" Gu Beilu and Qin Xian were both furious. They stepped forward, confronting Yang Ling at once, but Yang Ling wasn't afraid. Black wings sprouted from his back, and a dark aura enveloped his body, leaving only his razor-sharp eyes visible. If you think you're so tough, come at me. I'm not afraid of you. Yang Ling was arrogantly defiant. Just then, a voice with a faint smile drifted over from a distance. In that case, how about letting me try? That the words carried a surge of spiritual power, transforming into a massive, ethereal finger that descended on Yang Ling. The smile on Yang Ling's face froze. He quickly channeled the dark aura into his palm and thrust it forward. Bang, starred at a deafening boom echoed. Yang Ling was sent flying backward, crashing down with tremendous force. He gasped, coughing up blood. His face instantly turned as white as a sheet. Everyone was stunned. Yang Ling had been so imposing, but he had been knocked away by a single finger. Even though Yang Ling had acted in haste, the force of that spiritual finger was undeniably terrifying. You. Yang Ling struggled to his feet, his gaze locked on the figure in the distance. A figure in white was flying toward them. A faint smile played on his handsome face as he said calmly, "What? You're saying that finger wasn't strong enough? You want another?" As soon as he spoke, another spiritual finger formed in the sky, where the air had only just settled. Compared to the first, this finger was even larger and more imposing, and on top of that, the spiritual finger was engulfed in 9 colored flames. Even before it descended, the surrounding air warped and churned violently. Chapter 84. The Great Elder likes this, the reincarnation of the true immortal Chiyang. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Edited content. Chapter 84, Elder, hey there. Chiyang true immortal reincarnated, the spiritual finger, blazing with the Tuasha ancient emperor's flame, looked capable of incinerating the entire sky. Yang Ling stared upward, his heart pounding. A strange thought flashed through his mind, that finger might actually kill Tang Chen. But then, his fighting spirit surged, and he roared, "Just a cheap trick. I'll smash it with one punch." With that, Yang Ling spread his wings and charged toward the fiery finger. This is a place of learning. Who dares cause trouble here? Suddenly, an old man with a snow-white beard appeared. With a casual wave of his hand, a wave of immeasurable, saintly energy swept across the area, distorting the very air. Bang, Yang Ling's spiritual power was obliterated, and an overwhelming force crushed him, immobilizing him completely. Tang Chen, however, felt no pressure. Instead, a gentle spiritual force brought him forward. "Greetings, elderly." Many Taoist disciples were present, including Jiao, who had studied at Qianlong Academy. They all knelt and bowed to the old man. He was elderly, a highly respected saint of Qianlong Academy. Behind him, a group of figures in white emerged, the senior officials of the academy. They radiated power, enveloping the entire space. An atmosphere of utter majesty descended, silencing everyone. "The academy is a place for learning, not for brawling," elderly said calmly. "Anyone who causes trouble, regardless of their status, will be expelled and forever barred from the back mountain." He withdrew his aura, and everyone nodded in agreement. He was a saint. Who would dare defy a saint's words? Unfair. This is totally unfair. Yang Ling roared angrily, "We were fighting Tang Chen. Why was I suppressed while he was untouched? That's not right." Yang Ling was a mess, his hair disheveled, clothes blood-stained. Tang Chen, on the other hand, was pristine in white, looking as carefree as a celestial being. The contrast was stark. "You attacked first," the elder said matter-of-factly. The young master from Shenzhen Cave was merely defending himself. "I was mistaken about you." He then looked at Yang Ling, his tone impatient. "Besides, if I hadn't intervened, you would have been crushed by the young master of Shenzhen Cave, burned to a crisp. So ungrateful, trying to play the victim after getting off easy." Everyone was stunned. Was this the same gentle elderly? His words were surprisingly sharp. You. Yang Ling sputtered. Before he could finish, elderly waved his hand again, sending him flying dozens of feet, silencing him completely. His voice is grating, truly unbearable. I'm asking him to leave the academy. Any objections? Elderly's demeanor changed, becoming refined and casual. Elderly is absolutely right. No objections here. The senior officials replied instantly, everyone exchanged amused glances. It was obvious that elderly favored Tang Chen. Noisy and unbearable. Was that a problem for a powerful saint? Little junior uncle, when did you charm the academy elders? Qin Shiyan asked, surprised. As part of Bai Ling Palace, she had interacted with the elders many times, and they were always serious and strict. This level of favoritism was unprecedented. I've never met elderly before, Tang Chen admitted, equally puzzled. Why would elderly favor him? Could it be he had a thing for pretty faces? Tang Chen shuddered at the thought. Just then, elderly approached, a broad smile on his face. Please forgive my poor handling of that, Tang Xiaoyu. He turned to Lu Piapiao, his tone apologetic. If I had stopped Yang Ling sooner, you wouldn't have been hurt. Please accept this healing elixir as a token of my apology. He opened his palm, revealing a red pill that he placed in her hand. Young blood holy pill, Gu Beilu gasped. Lu Piapiao had only suffered minor injuries, yet the elder was giving her a holy level elixir. What a gesture! Lu Piapiao, stunned, glanced at Tang Chen, and then accepted the pill respectfully. Thank you, elderly, for your generosity. Don't mention it. Elderly smiled and waved his hand, then glared at the unconscious Yang Ling. If that person wasn't a disciple of Blood War Cave, I would have stripped him of his qualification to climb the back mountain for what he did. The crowd trembled again. What was happening to elderly? This level of favoritism was unheard of. As Tang Chen wondered what was going on, elderly's voice suddenly echoed in his mind, little friend Tang, I've heard you're a master of stone gambling. If you're willing, come to Qianlong Academy often. You can explore the fun of gambling on stones with me. Tang Chen suddenly understood. So, elderly was a fellow enthusiast. He felt relieved. Elderly is a man of high character, whom I've long admired. I'll definitely visit Qianlong Academy. Tang Chen replied with a smile. Wonderful. Elderly nodded, satisfied. Time passed, and the opening of the back mountain drew near. Suddenly, a blazing sun shot across the sky. Within it sat a figure in Taoist robes, carrying a long ruler on his waist, radiating an ethereal aura. That's Huadu, the chief of Qianlong Cave. Exclamations erupted. Many people glanced at Tang Chen. The name of the Qianlong chief was renowned throughout the East Wilderness. One was a seasoned prodigy, the other, a rising star, who knew what sparks would fly when they clashed. Huadu. Tang Chen narrowed his eyes, golden runes flashing in their depths. Huadu, the chief disciple of Qianlong Cave, the reincarnation of Chiyang True Immortal. Chapter 85 You are teaching me how to do things. I am pregnant with Tang Chen's bastard. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 85 You're teaching her, but she's carrying Tang Chen's bastard, Red Sun Immortal Reborn. Tang Chen's eyebrows ticked, a lot clicked into place for him. Taiyin Cave Heaven's eagerness to marry Qianlong Cave Heaven probably went beyond just merging the 9 yin and 9 yang techniques. Hua Tiandu wasn't just some simple disciple. Master said that during the fall of the immortal age, countless immortals perished, with only a few surviving. It's possible some found ways to cheat death, like reincarnation. Tang Chen doubled down on his fiery eyes and golden pupils. Now, below the Red Sun Immortal Reborn label, a new line of gray text appeared, unawakened. Unawakened? What's that supposed to mean? Could it be Hua Tiandu hasn't recovered his past life memories yet? The more Tang Chen thought about it, the more intriguing it became. He didn't feel any particular urgency or panic. Tang Chen had the system of the heavens and worlds. He wasn't losing sleep over some so-called prodigy. A measly immortal wasn't about to give him a complex. Honey, isn't that Hua Tiandu, the top disciple from Qianlong Cave Heaven? He's good-looking, sure, but you're in a completely different league. Luo Yuheng suddenly shouted, her voice amplified with spiritual energy so it echoed across the whole academy. Honey? What's with the pet names? Isn't Luo Yuheng Tang Chen's personal maid? Why is she acting so familiar? Is the maid thing just for show? She's right though. Hua Tiandu is handsome, but Tang Chen is way better. The murmurs started immediately. Seeing her plan unfold, Luo Yuhan got even more carried away. Sweetheart, your innate chaotic body is the best out of thousands of Dao bodies, and you have that incredible power where whatever you say comes true. His Dao body doesn't even compare. Oh no, your collar's wrinkled. It's my fault for not ironing it last night. Don't worry, I'll smooth it out for you right now. Babe, I just washed all the clothes and bedding before we came out. You said you loved the smell of sunshine, so I'll wash them every day for you. Every word Luo Yuhan spoke sent another wave of gasps through the crowd. Some of the guys who were crushing on Luo Yuhan were turning red with fury. How could Tang Chen let the Taiyin saint do that? They were so damn jealous. Qianlong Academy was buzzing with excitement. All eyes were glued to Tang Chen and Luo Yuhan. Elder, an academy's a place for learning. No one's allowed to make a racket. Why don't you kick out Tang Chen and Luo Yuhan for causing all this? Yang Ling was ecstatic. He turned to the elder, but the elder just gave him a cold look and said quietly, "Are you telling me how to do my job?" Then, he slapped Yang Ling again. Yang Ling went flying once more. Meanwhile, Luo Yuhan had shouted herself hoarse. Turning her head, she saw Hua Tiandu sitting cross-legged in a corner, eyes closed, completely unmoved. Luo Yuhan felt a little deflated. She was trying to get Hua Tiandu riled up and engineer a confrontation between him and Tang Chen. Finally, Luo Yuhan had brought up the engagement between him and Hua Tiandu, which sparked the whole scene, but Hua Tiandu hadn't even flinched. Luo Yuhan felt momentarily lost. Or should I tell everyone I'm pregnant with Tang Chen's kid? Luo Yuhan muttered under her breath. Tang Chen's face fell. Luo Yuhan was wild. How could she even think of something like that? And calling the kid a bastard? Was she trying to trash his reputation? As Tang Chen was about to stop her, Hua Tiandu abruptly stood up and walked away from the commotion. It worked. Luo Yuhan's eyes lit up. She grabbed Tang Chen's arm and said, "See? Hua Tiandu's mad and left. Maybe he's on the phone with Xuanhuan Cave Heaven right now, telling them he wants to call off the engagement with you." Looking at Luo Yuhan's excitement, Tang Chen couldn't bring himself to burst her bubble. He shook his head and headed over to Gu Bei Lu and Lu Piapiao. "Where are Jian Wushuang and Qin Wusha?" Tang Chen asked. The opening of the academy's back mountain was a huge event. Jian Wushuang and Qin Wusha wouldn't want to miss it. Jian Wushuang got stuck on a breakthrough right when he was about to come to Qianlong Academy. As for my senior brother, the ancestor sent him to Beiyuan. I don't know why. Gu Beilu explained immediately. Tang Chen nodded slowly. If Qin Wusha had headed to Beiyuan, it must be to investigate Kunlun Immortal Mountain. With Qin Wusha's skills, he's definitely the best for the job. Tang Chen lowered his gaze, lost in thought. Then, a familiar figure walked over. "Little master, we meet again." The man was dressed in white, with a warm, sunny smile on his face, like a cool spring breeze. It was Feiyu Daozi, Yen Buku. Tang Chen glanced at him and activated his fiery eyes, but it still didn't work. "I'm really pulling for you in this climb, little master. I hope you can make it to the top of the back mountain and work your magic again." Yen Buku bowed to Tang Chen, then turned and left. Tang Chen watched him go, his face unreadable. Thousands of thoughts raced through his head. Time passed. A few minutes later, from deep within Qianlong Academy, a dazzling light suddenly burst forth. The light spread out, laced with potent Taoist energy. Even a little whiff of it seemed to offer enlightenment. In the back mountain, thousands of light beams shot into the sky. Like a stairway, the beams of light formed a ladder for everyone to reach for the sky. The back mountain is open. Give it your all to reach the top. As the elder's voice boomed out, countless young geniuses surged forward, racing toward the back mountain. There, they saw hundreds of steps. Each step was a massive stone platform. Hundreds of thousands of people could stand on one step, and it wouldn't even feel crowded. Tang Chen handed Tunton over to Qin Shiyan. Then, he strolled towards the back mountain at a steady pace. It's not that easy. Tang Chen had been keeping an eye on the system of the heavens and worlds, but he still hadn't gotten a check-in notification. Based on the last time, I probably have to get pretty high up, maybe even all the way to the top, before I get that check-in notification. Tang Chen said calmly. He wasn't worried. it would just take a little time. After a moment of rest, Tang Chen straightened his robes and stepped onto the first step. The climb had begun. Chapter 86, The Level Clearing Machine, Crazy Level Clearing Speed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xuanhuan is the bedrock of Qianlong Academy. The whole area vibrates with deep Taoist energy, so powerful that even a saint's spiritual power can barely penetrate it. From here on out, no one can muscle their way through. The spectators were all experienced cultivators with sharp eyes. If they held their breath and focused, they could easily spot the challengers on each level. Of course, most eyes were glued to Tang Chen. Nobody wanted to miss a thing. Then, Tang Chen took the first step into Xuanhuan. The scene instantly dissolved around him. He found himself in a chaotic, empty space. There was no sky or spirit, only a sense of utter desolation. A separate dimension. Tang Chen recognized it immediately. His consciousness, not his physical body, was what had entered this space. His body remained at the first step. Qianlong Academy emphasizes teaching everyone, regardless of background, and ensuring survival. This guarantees the safety of each cultivator. The Academy's leadership secretly protects their physical forms. Tang Chen understood everything instantly. Then, a figure materialized before him. The figure was faceless, completely dark. It gripped a long sword tightly. Its cultivation level mirrored Tang Chen's, both at the 6th level of the initial stage. The tests vary depending on your cultivation level. Tang Chen chuckled. He casually clapped his hand, obliterating the dark figure. The chaotic space shattered like glass. Before him appeared a dazzling collection of cultivation treasures, weapons, heavenly artifacts, forging materials, rare items, a dizzying assortment of everything imaginable, but they were mostly just average. It's only the first level, the rewards aren't great. Tang Chen dismissed them and moved on to the second floor. He quickly passed the second trial, then the third, the fourth, the fifth. Tang Chen climbed faster and faster. Soon, he was conquering a level almost every second. Tests that others found incredibly challenging were nothing more than a walk in the park for Tang Chen. Back in the real world, everyone watching was stunned. The scene was almost comical. On the massive staircase, a silver figure shot straight upward. He didn't face any resistance. He didn't even slow down. In less than a minute since entering Xuanhuan, he'd already cleared over 60 levels. That was less than a second per level, on average. Is Qianlong Academy deliberately turning off the tests? One person wondered aloud. Nobody bought it. Qianlong Academy's reputation was impeccable throughout the Xuanhuan world. They wouldn't stoop to such a thing. But if Qianlong Academy wasn't giving him a free pass, why was Tang Chen moving so fast? He was already on the 70th floor. Gods like Ao Qianquan and Yang Ling had only reached the 40th. The difference was staggering. Even Hua Tiandu, their great hope, was only just reaching the 60th floor. My young master is amazing. Seeing this, Qin Xian jumped to her feet. She felt a surge of hope sparked by Tang Chen. 71 floors. 72 floors. 73 floors. 80 floors. Each time Tang Chen entered a new trial, he didn't even glance around. He'd just slash with his sword, unleash his fire, or crush it with a single finger. The dark figures were erased the instant they appeared. These higher-level tests weren't about brute force, they tested your state of mind, or the darkest depths of your inner demons. But Tang Chen was even more at ease with these. When it came to cultivation, his innate chaotic body allowed him to directly grasp the Tao with a single thought. And when it came to inner demons, his selfless sword heart let him abandon his own thoughts entirely, making these illusions child's play. Tang Chen was like a cheat code, blasting through the levels. 90 floors. Tang Chen finally paused here. A figure stood before him. It was still faceless and shrouded in darkness, but its aura now held a trace of immortality. Is it an immortal projection? Tang Chen felt no fear, only growing excitement. Outside, everyone watching breathed a sigh of relief when Tang Chen finally stopped at the 90th floor, but they wondered what test could actually halt his progress. Starting at the 90th floor, every level contains the aura of immortality. The Great Elder announced, these final 10 levels will be incredibly difficult, even for superior immortals. They may even be defeated. Everyone gasped. An immortal test. The words themselves were intimidating. No wonder no one had reached the 90th floor since the Xianluo era. The Xianjian Dongtian young master is extremely talented in strength, cultivation, and state of mind. But even he has to slow down from here on out. That the great elder spoke with confidence. He admired Tang Chen's audacity and had even rooted for him unconditionally, but this wasn't a game. As the Academy's chief elder, he had to uphold his authority. Tang Chen's rapid progress was undermining the reputation of House Han. He passed. Junior Master passed the 90th floor, but just as the chief elder finished speaking, Tang Chen stepped onto the 91st floor, the 92nd floor, the 93rd floor, the 94th floor, the 95th floor. He cleared 5 levels in one breath. Holy! Even the chief elder couldn't help but swear. He'd just declared his intent to assert his authority, and Tang Chen had immediately slapped him in the face. The chief elder felt his face burning with embarrassment. On the Qingmu ancient countryside, the princes were ecstatic. The 95th floor. He'd reached the 95th floor. If Tang Chen could clear it, he could obtain the 9 blood ice heart grass. The Lord of Qingmu would be saved. Calm down. Junior Master hasn't passed the 95th floor test yet, Qin Shiyan cautioned. But she was so nervous that she hugged Tun Tun tightly, not daring to look away. Then, Tang Chen stepped onto the 96th floor. He passed the 95th floor test. Qin Shiyan stopped breathing. I knew I wasn't wrong about him. That she stared at Tang Chen on the 96th floor. Her beautiful eyes were filled with complicated emotions, her whole body trembled, and she collapsed back into her chair. It was as if she'd experienced a powerful climax. Chapter 87, Climbing 100 Steps to Create History. I don't take the blame for this. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 87, Not my fault we're making history. 9 Blood Ice Heart Grass is super rare. It's a saint-level item, but it only fully matures when watered with immortal energy. Ever since the Immortals fell, 9 Blood Ice Heart Grass has almost vanished. Even a rich kingdom like Qingmu can barely find a single plant. Their king is in his prime, but the prince and princess are still too young. If something happens to him, Qingmu Kingdom is screwed. Wu-Tu Kingdom has been growing like crazy lately. And looks like it wants to swallow the other 5 elements kingdoms whole. If it succeeds, Qingmu Kingdom will disappear from the East Wasteland. You can imagine how stoked Qin Shiyan is right now. She's like someone wandering in the desert. On their last breath, they finally found an oasis. From this day on, I pledge loyalty to my uncle. Qin Shiyan gazed at the white-robed figure on the back mountain, making a vow in her heart. This guy didn't just give her hope, he gave her someone to admire. Looking at him was like looking at a god. Tang Chen made it to the 96th floor. If I remember right, the highest anyone's ever gotten, even way back when, was the 95th. Tang Chen just made history. Not only did he break the record for floors, but he also broke the speed record. The last guy took 10 whole nights to get to the 95th, Tang Chen did it in 15 minutes. Total shock. Total amazement. People were losing their minds. Just witnessing this was a once-in-a-lifetime event. Whoa, Huadu's already on the 9th floor. How's he so fast? Yang Ling, pick it up. She's on the 7th. Ao Qianquan's right behind, just past the 7th floor too. Some people were checking out the other rising stars, but those comments quickly faded away, because, while they were chatting, Tang Chen blew past the 9th floor. 9th floor, Tang Chen stared at the familiar chaotic void inside in relief. The immortal energy really cranked up the difficulty. I was sweating bullets. Finding immortals in the backwoods is harder than it looks, but he said that from the bottom of his heart. If anyone outside heard him, they'd freak. Tang Chen blasted to the 97th floor, no problem. A little sweat. He calls that a battle. He calls that difficult. Something's messed up with this story. Buzz. Before Tang Chen could say another word, a shadowy figure materialized in front of him. Not far away, the figure had enough detail that you could make out facial features. You could even feel its emotions. This fight lasted nearly a minute. Finally, Tang Chen torched the shadowy figure with his Buddha's Fury Lotus. The opponent on the 98th floor was another dark figure. This time, Tang Chen could clearly see the other guy's face. He was a cocky young man with sword-like eyebrows and an intense aura. The immortal energy around the young man was even thicker. You could see it with the naked eye. Tang Chen didn't waste any time. He unleashed all three of his signature moves, the Wild Prisoner Finger, the Buddha's Wrath Lotus, and the Destroying Sword drawing technique, with everything he had. 10 minutes later, the fight was over. Tang Chen had climbed to the 99th floor, no coincidence. This time, his opponent was another young man. In fact, it was the same young man as before, same face, same martial arts, almost exactly the same. But Tang Chen noticed a difference in the young man's attitude. He was arrogant at first. Now, he was much more controlled, less cocky, more calm. This fight took Tang Chen half an hour. By the time he won, Tang Chen's back was soaked, and he was breathing hard. The last level. Tang Chen didn't rush forward. He took a moment to catch his breath. 9-9 returned to 1, the last level had to be something special. Let's do this. Tang Chen's eyes burned with determination, and he stepped forward. Outside, when everyone saw the white-robed figure step onto the 100th floor, they fell silent. Not just the female cultivators, but even some of the guys were screaming. When Tang Chen stepped onto the 96th floor, they thought they were watching history, but they were wrong. The records kept getting shattered. Now, Tang Chen had reached the first step. Just one step away from becoming an immortal. Even the calm-as-hell elder was shocked. His heart was pounding. No one knew better than him how insane the trials after the 90th floor were, yet Tang Chen was blowing through them one by one, and now he's reached the last level. If the elder didn't know some secrets, he'd swear Tang Chen was the immortal's secret love child, getting special treatment. At this rate, Tang Chen might actually clear the final stage, Luo Yuheng said, excited. Her eyes were sparkling, filled with pure joy. The final stage, that was the end of the road to finding the immortal. If Tang Chen managed to break through, he'd crush Huadu, and Luo Yuheng's goal would be achieved. Everyone nodded in agreement. Tang Chen took half an hour to clear the 99th level. At that speed, he's got to clear the final stage. It might just take a little more time. That might disappoint you all. Just when everyone was getting hyped up, the elder threw a wet blanket on the party. Master Uncle Xuanjiandong is strong, but there's no way he's passing the test of the final stage. Why not? Luo Yuheng asked quickly. Because the gatekeeper on the final stage isn't just carrying immortal energy anymore. They're packing a drop of true immortal blood. The room went silent. As cultivators, they all knew what blood meant, blood from the heart. Just one drop contained infinite power. They say a drop of blood from a saint could turn a normal person into a prodigy overnight. They also say a drop of saint's blood could change the landscape, turning midsummer into winter and mountains into rivers. A drop of saint's blood is that terrifying. What about the blood of a true immortal? This is insane. Qianlong Academy. Are you guys trying to stop people from passing the final stage or what? Luo Yuheng snapped, pointing a finger at the elder. Everyone else was pissed too. From the 90th floor to the 99th, the gatekeepers had immortal energy. Okay, fine, but the final stage? A drop of true immortal blood? That's not even in the same ballpark. The elder looked genuinely innocent. The final level used to be different. That person forced the change after the Immortal Fall era. Don't blame me. Chapter 88 The Last Level of Perversion, Ultra Instinct. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tang Chen was fully aware of the world outside, but right now, he stood in a chaotic void. The gatekeeper, now in a gray outfit, appeared before him. He had familiar features and build, with eyes that reflected a lifetime of experience. The young man clutched a seemingly ordinary black carving that radiated an extremely dangerous aura. An immortal weapon. Tang Chen narrowed his eyes. The energy emanating from the carving dwarfed that of the black mysterious immortal sword. It was clearly made for killing. You're the first young hero to arrive here in over 1,000 years, the young man said earnestly. I hope you can beat me. Tang Chen was taken aback. The youth felt so much more real than the previous guardians. And what's with wanting to be defeated? Judging by his demeanor, calling him an old man would be a stretch. He should be eager to fight. Buzz, star. As Tang Chen pondered, a black light erupted from the carving. Tang Chen jerked his head aside just in time. Whoosh, a strand of his hair was severed. The black light embedded itself behind him, radiating destructive energy. So fast. Tang Chen squinted, gripped the black mysterious immortal sword, and activated every immortal weapon he possessed, including Tuasha's Emperor Flame. Instantly, the chaotic void was filled with the vibrant, nine-colored energy of a god. "Defeat me with everything you've got." The young man shouted, charging forward. In that instant, Tang Chen was bombarded with a dozen beams of black light. Each was lethally dangerous, capable of killing even the most talented cultivators. Tang Chen didn't dare be careless. The black mysterious immortal sword flashed, unleashing the destroying heaven sword technique to deflect the attacks. Then, the young man vanished, reappearing an instant later, completely surrounding Tang Chen with countless beams of dark light, tens of thousands of them. Buddha's Fury Lotus. Tang Chen whirled, forming a hand seal and launching a delicate lotus. A deafening explosion followed. A wave of energy swept outwards, incinerating the dark light. Tang Chen was unharmed, but the assault didn't end there. The young man surged forward again, radiating black light. Each beam contains immortal energy. Is it endless? Plus, he's getting faster. Tang Chen raised his bow, grasped the sword, and unleashed the heaven-destroying sword light while simultaneously extending his hand to unleash the Qingtian spirit finger. The combined attacks clashed with the light, threatening to collapse the void itself. Debris flew in all directions, sending both Tang Chen and the young man tumbling back hundreds of meters. "This guy is way stronger than anyone on the 99th floor." Tang Chen muttered. The space fragments bombarded his 10,000 sword immortal armor without leaving a scratch, but he still felt a sharp sting. He was facing the most powerful opponent he'd ever encountered, the only one he felt evenly matched with. Before the thought could fully form, a black light filled his vision. Flowers in the mirror and moon in the water. Tang Chen instantly summoned the Kunlun mirror. A burst of brilliant light erupted. The space where Tang Chen had stood rippled like water, deflecting the oncoming light. After a moment, the water settled. Tang Chen was still there, untouched. That was close. A bead of sweat trickled down his forehead. He'd activated the Kunlun mirror's magic power just in time. He barely avoided that one. He's even faster now, like lightning. The more he attacks, the faster he gets. A drawn-out fight would be to my advantage. My best bet is to close the distance and go hand-to-hand. Time to risk it all and go for broke. A desperate glint flashed in Tang Chen's eyes. Just as he prepared to act, a system notification appeared in his mind. "Successfully stay at the back of the Ka Academy, you will be rewarded with a lucky draw." Tang Chen's eyes lit up. Without hesitation, he seized the opportunity. A massive lottery will appeared. The pointer spun wildly before stopping on a prize. "Congratulations to Sue for winning the 7-star prize, the ultimate freedom of mind, free ultimate intention kung fu, from a best-selling comic book in an island country. It is a top fighting state." After being activated, the cultivator's consciousness and body will be separated, allowing each part of the body to transcend instinct to perceive the surrounding dangers. The brain is required to do thinking. Jackpot. Another 7-star prize. Tang Chen exclaimed. He immediately extracted the Ultra Instinct skill and activated it with everything he had. Buzz buzz buzz, a silvery aura enveloped Tang Chen. Instantly, his eyes and hair turned a silvery white. It only served to enhance his supreme aura. Tang Chen's whole demeanor shifted, becoming more ethereal and approachable, inspiring awe and reverence in all who beheld him. What a strange sensation. Tang Chen thought to raise his hand, but as soon as the thought formed, his hand moved. His body was faster than his conscious mind. Whoosh. Whoosh. Whoosh, from the moment Tang Chen received the card to activating Ultra Instinct, only a split second passed. But in that instant, the young man unleashed a million sword strikes, a storm of light threatening to engulf Tang Chen. "It's over," the young man sighed, lowering the black carving, but then, Tang Chen, bathed in the light, his eyes and hair now silver white, moved with impossible grace, narrowly avoiding the first beam of light. Then, he weaved and dodged, evading the subsequent strikes. Not a single hair was cut. He avoided them all. How is this possible? The young man exclaimed, eyes wide with disbelief. Tang Chen appeared before him like a ghost. His right hand, which had been gripping the sword, suddenly drew the blade and struck, *swish, star, the young man's head fell. Tang Chen had passed the 100th level test, the one the Academy elder had deemed impossible. Chapter 89. The geniuses were shocked and felt their bodies were hollowed out. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The outside world held its breath, dead silence. Just a moment ago, everyone was loudly debating the supposed unfairness of Qianlong Academy, especially regarding Tang Chen. Then, silence, eyes widened, mouths gaped, frozen in place, hearts pounded, threatening to burst, all because they witnessed the figure in pristine white slowly ascending the back mountain, the 100th step conquered by Tang Chen. This sight stunned everyone. Even the great elder of Qianlong Academy seemed on the verge of collapse, his eyes unfocused. The guardian on the 100th floor possesses the very essence of a true immortal. Yet, Tang Chen still overcame him. Is this a sign that Tang Chen will not only shatter the immortal age's constraints, but will also trample immortals underfoot? A monster. The ultimate monster. In the entire Xuanhuan realm, only Tang Chen deserves that title. All the gifted disciples of the Eastern Wasteland pale in comparison. A collective, heartfelt sigh swept through the crowd. Tang Chen's ascent was incredibly fast, completed in just an hour. Before their very eyes, they witnessed history rewritten, an insurmountable gap bridged. Tang Chen was clearly the architect of this change. They could almost see him standing at the pinnacle, thousands in white bowing before him. Every Taoist genius defeated, even Xiang Bei reduced to looking up in awe. Boom! Suddenly, the entire back mountain shuddered. Before the spectators, countless heroic phantoms materialized in the sky above the mountain, lingering and bowing in worship. Then, the faint light enveloping the mountain began to fade. The aloof aura also dissipated rapidly. Back mountain, 81st floor. A muffled sound broke the silence as Yang Ling snapped his eyes open, letting out a triumphant roar. Success. I finally perfected the holy book of blood war. Tang Chen, you're finished. Instantly, a wave of darkness swallowed Yang Ling whole. 83rd floor, clutching the Kirin jade horn, Xuanhuan finally defeated his guardian. Even with my ancestors' gift of immortality, it was still tough. The back mountain is truly profound. If I struggled this much with the immortals, the others probably won't make it past the 60th level. But that's fine. This just allows me to show off my unique brilliance. That with those words, Xuanhuan stepped onto the 84th floor. He didn't notice the darkness sweeping towards him. 11th floor, having cleared the trial, Hua Tiandu didn't immediately proceed to the 12th. Instead, he sat in meditation. A moment later, he exclaimed, I get it. This is the true meaning of immortality. His eyes snapped open, a flash of red sunlight passing through them, a hint of satisfaction played on his lips. I've only unlocked 70% of my memories so far, but even my master would be ashamed of the path I've uncovered. He raised his head, filled with pride. The world thought Hua Tiandu cultivated without regard for anything else. That wasn't true. He just ignored everything else. He knew he was a true immortal reborn. Why would a true immortal care about mortals? That would be beneath him. Now, with the help of the back mountain's immortal aura, he'd successfully awakened 70% of his past memories. He mused to himself, radiating charm. While I've unlocked 70% of my memories, reaching the summit is likely impossible. Hua Tiandu withdrew his gaze, his eyes showing no discouragement. But that's all right. Reaching the top might be difficult, but I can still climb higher. Let's break the previous record first. If I remember correctly, the previous record was the 15th floor last year. Time to shatter it today. As he spoke, a wave of darkness enveloped Hua Tiandu. Outside world, a sudden surge of darkness erupted. When it dissipated, the talented disciples who were diligently climbing the mountain found themselves back at Qianlong Academy. What's going on? The geniuses were bewildered. They looked around, seeing confusion mirrored in each other's eyes. The onlookers were equally stunned. No one understood. There's a rule in the back mountain, the great elder explained loudly. When someone reaches the summit, the remaining trial participants are brought back. Since Tang Chen has successfully reached the top, you had to leave. What? Tang Chen reached the summit? Impossible. I'm moving so fast, and I'm only on the 56th floor. How could he reach the top? The trial hasn't even been going on for an hour. And Tang Chen reached the top already. The geniuses voiced their disbelief. If Tang Chen had simply broken the previous record, they might have been able to accept it, but he not only broke it, he reached the summit, in under an hour. This was unacceptable. Didn't it make their reputations as geniuses seem ridiculous? They were both geniuses, so how could the gap be so massive? While the others protested, no one noticed Hua Tiandu standing in the corner, trembling. His eyes were no longer detached or free from desire, they were filled with rage, disbelief, doubt, a storm of emotions raging at once. The back mountain. After crossing the 100th step, Tang Chen arrived at a cliffside vista. A figure sat in the distance, dressed in simple linen robes, with gray hair. He gazed at the magnificent landscape. After 3 decades, I've finally reached this point. The figure turned, revealing an aged face. The old man's features bore a striking resemblance to the young man who guarded the gate. One could say they were the same person. Tang Chen's eyes flickered as he slowly approached. With each step, the surrounding immortal aura intensified. The old man seemed to grow taller, towering like a mountain that demanded Tang Chen's reverence. *A true immortal, star, the thought flashed through Tang Chen's mind. He instantly unleashed his sword, dispelling the surrounding immortal energy. The towering old man immediately reverted to his ordinary appearance, his turbid eyes filled with surprise and admiration. Not bad, very good, the old man spoke, gesturing to Tang Chen. Come, sit and chat with me. Without hesitation, Tang Chen walked over and sat down beside him. This only increased the old man's admiration. He had revealed his true immortal aura, and the handsome young man before him must have recognized his identity, yet, he remained calm and composed, without any restraint or fear. Such a personality was rare indeed. In truth, Tang Chen slumped down, sighing inwardly. The side effects of ultra instinct are too strong. That one battle left me feeling completely drained. Thank goodness this old man asked me to sit, or I might have fainted on the spot. Chapter 90. The Great Elder is furious and has a face-to-face chat with the True Immortal. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 90. The Elder gets an earful from an immortal. The scene was wild. Taoists, full of themselves, were yelling all over the place. Everyone was blown away by Tang Chen's insane power, and they were green with envy. The mountain behind the academy had hundreds of steps. Each step up gave you a reward. Some people only made it 7 steps, but got stuff on par with holy level treasures. Imagine what the 100th step would give you. Plus, Tang Chen reached the top and just stayed there. Did he snag some crazy reward? Maybe a world-shattering opportunity? The more they thought, the more they got worked up, hearts pounding like crazy. I'm blazing fast, but I can't even clear 8 steps. How did Tang Chen get to the top? What gives? Yang Ling marched up to the elder, face like thunder. He was practically grilling him. The elder wanted to blow his top, but then he thought about how annoying that question was, and calmed down, saying, What do you think? I've got an immortal artifact, clearing levels is my thing. How could Tang Chen beat me to the top? What kind of cheat code is he using? Ao Qianhuan chimed in, sounding super salty. The elder's face twitched. He took a deep breath. You're asking me? Who do you think I should ask? Yang Ling and Ao Qianhuan glared, then stormed off. Are those two off their rockers? The elder thought. He was a big shot, near the top of the food chain. These two punks dared to give him attitude. Nuts, completely nuts. When's Tang Chen coming down? Someone asked the elder. The elder was about to lose it, but saw it was Huadu. Huadu looked normal, calm even. That made the elder feel a little better. He shook his head. I don't know what's going on up there. Before he could finish, Hua Jing turned on his heel and left. The elder went ballistic. These guys were all cut from the same cloth. Meanwhile, Yi Qingqing and Gu Beilu were lapping up the jealous stares, loving life. Sure, they got booted off early, but they still scored big. Yi Qingru hit the Unity Realm, Gu Beilu and Lu Piapiao leveled up, 2, of course, everyone was losing their minds about Tang Chen's climb to the top. Tang Chen was about to be a legend all over the East Wasteland. Again, Qianlong Cave was about to get a major rep boost. I heard there's an immortal body at the top. If that's true, my junior uncle just hit the jackpot. Yi Qingru whispered. At the top of the mountain, the old man sat beside Tang Chen, eyes wide. Kid, you've gone through the first and 6 stages of cultivation, and you've got the primordial chaos body, the selfless sword heart, the innocent Tao heart, 2 immortal weapons, 2 holy weapons, a miniature holy sword seal, and some kind of weird flame even I can't figure out. Are you sure you're from the Xuanhuan realm? That the old man was floored. Any one of those things could start a war, but they were all crammed into one person. Even with his experience, the old man was shocked. I'm Tang Chen, from Qianlong Cave, and yeah, I'm from the Xuanhuan realm. Tang Chen said. He wasn't surprised the old man saw through him. The old man was a real immortal, even if he was a small fry. If he couldn't see through him, that would be weird. You're a natural sword cultivator. Qianlong Cave makes sense. I remember when Ancestor Chiyang and I were shooting the breeze, you even managed to trick me. Good times. The old man stroked his beard, all nostalgic. May I ask your name? Tang Chen asked politely. Name's Ji, title's Zhenxian, the old man said with a smile. Tang Chen frowned. That's weird. My master never mentioned Ji Zhenxian. They supposedly used to sit and talk Taoism. They should be tight. What did you say? Ji Zhenxian blinked. Chiyang is your master. Tang Chen smiled and nodded. Oh, right. I remember now. It wasn't Chiyang I was talking to, it was Hongchen from Yaoqi Cave. My bad, my memory's slipping. Ji Zhenxian suddenly said. Tang Chen frowned again. Before I went to Qianlong Academy, I hung out in Yaoqi Cave. Ancestor Hongchen was my protector. She should have mentioned you. Maybe she just forgot. Hongchen is your protector. Ji Zhenxian's face twitched. Tang Chen nodded. Technically, he was the one who made the inner demon's wish. The words hung in the air. Ji Zhenxian was quiet, awkward. Then, Ji Zhenxian's voice changed. Enough chit-chat. I actually have something important to talk to you about. Tang Chen smirked to himself. It wasn't like the old man didn't have game, he was just trying to look important in front of Tang Chen and badmouth Ancestor Chiyang for no reason. Tang Chen was just giving it back, all in good fun. Seeing Ji Zhenxian looking serious, Tang Chen said, alright, tell me what's up. Ji Zhenxian took a breath. With your talent, you're destined for big things. You might even break free of the immortal age. I hope you'll keep an eye on Qianlong Academy in the future. Oh, Tang Chen raised an eyebrow. Qianlong Academy was strong, and had friends everywhere. Why would they need Tang Chen to watch over them? When the immortal age comes, thousands of immortals fall every day. After 30 years of recovery, the factions are getting stronger, but they're still way weaker than before. Ji Zhenxian cleared his throat and said with a faint smile, Tang, you might already know this. But this peaceful East Wasteland, the whole Xuanhuan world, is hiding a secret crisis. It's all tied to a mysterious creature called the blood-devouring evil emperor. Ji Zhenxian spoke louder, trying to cover up his earlier embarrassment, but Tang Chen didn't even look surprised, he just nodded calmly. Yeah, I know. I even burned away some of the blood-devouring evil emperor's thoughts in front of him.